All right, welcome everybody. This is going to be the recap for my trading on May 3rd, 2023. Was able to barely go green today, but let's look at our first trade out of the gate. Was IMGN. It was pretty classic pairing pattern. Fairly quickly after I entered right down here at the yellow line, it went through. I had three targets, hit my three targets. At that point, I had nothing above it at this point. And all I did was just kind of track it. As soon as I started seeing a little bit of weakness, I didn't want to overstay my welcome. I went ahead and got out, took a profit, made $430. But then I came back and I traded ACAN. That was where ACAN took a flush on me. Let's look at ACAN. All right, here's ACAN. I ordered... let's see, I put this trade on at 9:31 during the spike. That was my entry. This was an HF1 buy. One of my favorite patterns. Almost hit my target. I think it only missed it by a penny or two. And then it had a quick collapse. We had a little bit of bounce, and then I went ahead and got out. But I was a little bit heavier on my number of contracts because it was an HF1, so I ended up losing 1560. That really put me back. I did come back later on and trade a SNTG, which was going to be an HF1, and also I had another HF1 on FN. I'm going to continue to hold JDST. JDST I put on yesterday, put on Tuesday. It didn't really do anything, and I still have my target sitting up there, so I went ahead and carry JDST overnight, but the closed out trades were minus 647. What saved me once again was going to be the made a little bit on the indices, and let's take a look at also traded the US yen. We'll take a look at that. All right, so here we go. Just a couple things I did today. Trade the US yen, traded the E-mini S&P, made a little bit on the E-mini S&P. It was on the buy side. And picked up $213 on that, but I made a little bit more on the yen. I'll tell you how I played this yen. We did have an interest rate report coming out. A lot of times this report is going to cause a huge spike in the market. A lot of times that spike is going to resume, and usually you're going to see some sort of bounce, okay? So in other words, market was going up, and then we had this really tight, a really quick spike down. So on the way down, I went ahead and I bought it. I was in a little bit early, got out, took a loss, okay, on that. But then right away, after I took my loss, started firming up and went ahead and bought again right down here as we came down and came back up. I went ahead and I bought it. And I ended up getting out at around 1410, somewhere up here someplace. And it was a beautiful place. So this was nothing but a report. I didn't have, this is a basically just playing off that report. So once again, this particular report, it was an interest rate decision report. A lot of times you will see those big spikes where they go up or down. So typically what's going to happen is the market's either going to do one or two things. It's going to go straight down, have a big bounce and go back down again. Or it's going to go down and then come back up, and it's just going to kind of go flat. That's where you want to take advantage of that and buy into it again. So what I was looking for is I was looking for it to come down here and then bounce back up. Did not. It went a lot lower. I was a little late. a little early getting into it before the bounce. Once I did see the bounce and I saw my loss share, I ran ahead and re-entered again and got out and made a profit. So that really saved the day. Not a big day overall. But once again, using the indices and even Forex a lot of times will cushion my stocks, particularly if I'm taking a loss. So usually if I'm losing in my stocks, I'm making it on the indices and or vice versa, which is kind of interesting. But nonetheless, that was it for today. Not a huge day. Tomorrow's Thursday, favorite day of the week. So looking forward to tomorrow. I usually trade a little bit heavier on Thursdays, so hopefully that'll be the case and we'll end up having a really nice day. We'll see you tomorrow.